All right, well, we're in Carlson Software 2014. I have a surface here built by Contours. I did go ahead and make the surface ahead of time. And so if I bring in the tin triangles, you should see them import on top. And this might help me review my surface. And so we have a surface for proposed ground here. And one of the things that came to our attention is that the architect has a Revit model or a BIM model, and we'd like to see if their model meshes in with our terrain. So we're going to use some of the new software that's in the 2014 Carlson CADnet, and under the BIM category, we're going to import the BIM model into the Carlson design. You'll see the building outline just came in, and it's importing the objects now. This is supported by the IFC file type, which all the BIM softwares can create. IFC is the Industry Foundation Classes, where everything in a building has been classified based on a standard that was developed, I understand, by Autodesk somewhere in the mid-90s as they were getting into the BIM world. So not only when you bring in this model are you getting a 3D object, but you're also getting the intelligence behind those objects. There might be desks and chairs in here, windows, doors, there could be utilities and piping. And so the idea would be maybe to check your design, and if you have a water line coming into the building on, say, the east side, then there should be a tap on the building to accept that. And it looks like it's almost done with the import. All right. And it looks like it's in now. And what I'm going to do is use a Carlson tool here under View. We're going to use the 3D Viewer window and see if we can inspect the model along with our terrain. Now this viewer in 2014, it's purported to be some 300% quicker than it was in the past. And right there's your view on a standard laptop. If I had tried to use 3D Orbit in AutoCAD, we'd probably still be sitting here. So the viewer in Carlson is excellent. Now you'll see the BIM model and my terrain model, and I can see them together, and I can see how they fit. There's a landscape berm in the front of the building. We have detention ponds off in the south, and there's the building itself. I have it colored, which we don't need to do. And so there's your BIM model integrated with the Carlson data. Okay, and I can see some of our modeling needs to be cleaned up a little bit. There's a little overlap around the sidewalk. Maybe it's intentional, maybe not, but I can visually see that right now. And so that's the idea. I'm doing quality control. When it comes to BIM, this is quality control. Now, another thing that we can do is to take this surface that we developed in Carlson Civil or Survey, and we can send it out as an IFC file. And of course, we went ahead and did that. I'm going to select my tin right now. And if I say open, it wants to generate the new IFC file. So I already did that, and there's no fancy tricks here. I just said open, gave it a name, that's all. So what I'd like to do now is to leave Carlson, and we're going to go into the Navisworks, which is the BIM software. And I'll go to the big boy, Navisworks Manage. And this is the expensive one. They have 3 versions of it. They have a viewer and an intermediate, and then they have the pro version. So it depends how heavy people are getting into it as to which one I guess they invest in. Navisworks obviously is an Autodesk product, but what it really is, in a nutshell, is a collaboration tool. It can take data from almost anywhere and analyze it. And here we are in a blank BIM model, and I'm going to go ahead and open up our building. And so there's the building, and let's go ahead and just rotate it so you can see it. That's the same building we saw a moment ago. And let's go ahead and merge in the Carlson surface, and there it is. So now the BIM model can see everything that we just saw in Carlson. with maybe one difference being that with the Navisworks, we can actually go in the building and we can penetrate walls and we can see what's inside. See that? We can look down the halls, we can look at windows, doors, we can walk up and down the steps. There you go, you can see some of the windows in 3 dimensions, right? Inside, outside, all that good stuff. And so again, I'm looking at the integrity of my, my data. I want to make sure that my utilities match up to the tap-in point on the building, and that would agree with whatever I've designed in the Carlson Hydro software or the terrain model. We can look for clashes and things like that. So one additional thing we'll do, let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the project and show you how this all lines up together.
Harry, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Someone wrote, maybe I am missing something. Why did the building come in on the edge and not internal to the site?
Well, that's where the building was designed. Yeah, the only part of this project was the front of the building. The design scope of work was for the front of the building, not the back. Okay, so here's the rest of the facility. And you can see it's a very large facility. If I jump over to Carlson, I'll give you an idea of what this facility looks like. Not that one. This is what that facility really is. It's the largest privately developed piece of land in the United States of America. It's in Alabama, believe it or not. And so that's what this BIM was. And the idea was that the contractor had to use BIM, and they had to find their own conflicts before any blades touched the ground. And so what the client is trying to do is eliminate change orders. Because if the contractor does not use BIM to find their conflicts before they go to construction, they will eat the change orders. So this is a massive change occurring in our industry right now where they're trying to get rid of change orders. And of course, you know how lucrative they can be. So some clients now are getting into BIM. This is a huge complex with many, many buildings on it. You can kind of see how many buildings are in here, right? And the idea then would be to look at clashes and things like that. So by running some tests, you can find out what utilities are clashing, which ones are not. And again, I'll show you what the output would look like. It would be something like this, where every one of those clashes that you just saw me looking at, they will identify those graphically for the client or for whomever is doing the BIM analysis. You see that? It's finding every single conflict and clash that could be occurring in the file in 3 dimensions. And you can also go by classification. So you could just look at water lines, or you could just look at water and sanitary and electric all passing through a conduit. So this is what the BIM is allowing us to do now. And you can kind of see here that I have the entire facility, including our new design of the building from Revit and the surface from Carlson software. I would then go ahead and inspect my clashes, rectify them, run it until it has no more clashes, and if that's the case, I would then go to construction. So very, very simply and in a nutshell, that's what the BIM is for. It's for quality control. You see there's a dastardly venue behind it. Clients are trying to eliminate change orders, and in fact, this was published in Site Prep magazine, and I put contract language in the article, and that's very clear. That's what they're trying to do. But contractors now, many of them have to have BIM experts on staff, and Carlson's data can now flow directly into that BIM system for that analysis. So kudos to Carlson. They're right on target with adding BIM tools to the industry. Not only do architects use BIM now, but please note that contractors are being forced to use it as well because they want to eliminate change orders. So Jim, I just wanted to give you a quick overview on that aspect of it. Any questions?
There were a few more. We'll answer them after the webinar. We can email them directly.
Yeah. Okay, well that's it. Carlson's menus are very simple. You can import these IFC files from Revit or wherever they're produced. You can do your own analysis in Carlson software, and then you can also take your surface data and other data. We're not just limited to surface data. We can take other data from Carlson, like storm sewers and utilities and water lines, and we can send them into Navisworks as well for clash detection and this whole idea. So Carlson's right on target with 2014 CADnet and the BIM capabilities. That's
Okay, thank you, Harry. I'm going to move back over to Jim.
Thank you.